Pete Dog.
Glasses Malone, what's happening?
What's the good word, man? How was the weekend?
What other questions you got?
Was that bad?
They're all bad. What we got going on today? It's just the two of us. It's not where's that Steele guy? He's disappeared.
You know what? Ironically, I was just on the phone with Steele and talking to a good buddy of mine from Jurassic 5, Akil. And I don't know what Steele was doing. I think he was running around. Still got that cushy job, so he don't really care about the pod no more like that. The stream.
Oh, yeah, he's getting paid up on time.
Yeah. What's that you drinking?
This is the Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey. Comes in this nice old school kettle looking presentation. Very tasteful. Yeah. It's nice. I enjoy it.
It's nice. That's your stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
So I won some money. Well, I won a burrito on football.
That's good. That's as good as money. Burritos trade like currency down there, I hear.
They do. And they are currency. My buddy Brandon, he's in my boxing group chat. Shout out to Brandon. Brandon is a Bills fan. And historically, he's been a Bills fan. And I bet him that the Bills wouldn't win the Super Bowl. That was the bet. Then I bet him also, I bet my other buddy 5 burritos to 1 that the Chiefs would win the Super Bowl.
I see. Okay.
So if he loses, he has to pay me 5 burritos. And the reason he took a 5-1 bet is because it was in the middle of the season, and we were talking about the chances that the Chiefs had to win 3 in a row.
Got you.
So I was like, you know what? I like that quarterback. You know, that guy is, I've seen him in so many plays where he's supposed to get sacked and nobody sacks him. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take a shot. I genuinely believe that this man, right, has an incredible chance to three-peat. So I took a bet, 5-1, 5 burritos to 1. And I don't get regular burritos like my homeboy Brandon. I'm getting a surf and turf burrito. This is asada and shrimp. It's $20. Now, if I hit the homie JU, if I win on the 5-1, they got some spots in Orange County, right, where they got $33, $36 burritos. They got, you know, like the big, you know, paws, the bone coming out of it. It's like a prime rib burrito.
Oh, really? They do a tomahawk burrito?
Yeah, I make sure you know you lost that bet to me, and I'm gonna take a picture of it. So Brandon lost a bet this weekend. That cost him a surf and turf burrito. And I keep a ledger. You know, that's the math man in me. I got a ledger of bets with homies for tomahawks and burritos.
Got you.
So I'm eating good for the rest of the year on the homeboys.
Lovely.
I'm eating good.
And these are for what? For football? You ain't betting on football.
2 bets was for football. The first bet was
you betting on football.
I know. I don't even really like football or watch football anymore.
Yeah,
but
crazy.
I bet my homeboy Brandon in my boxing group, right, that the Bills wouldn't win the Super Bowl. So that worked out for me. And then I bet my homeboy in the middle of the season 5 burritos to 1. So if he wins 1 burrito. If I win, the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, I win 5 burritos.
Yeah, well, the Chiefs looking real good right now. Like the Chiefs might pull it off, but Philly looking real good though. That boy Saquon looking. Man, all these Giant fans right now is kicking themselves in the ass right now for them getting rid of Saquon though, man. That shit is crazy.
I think it was faking all those injuries just to get out of there.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
That guy has no scar tissue.
I'm not a football guy, so I can't talk to you.
Yeah, that's why I'm surprised you was even having.
But it was just a good bet. The Bills historically been horrible.
Yeah.
Like they always get there and choke.
Yeah.
And I like their new quarterback. He's not bad, but that little dude from the Chiefs, I ain't never seen nothing like him. Like I didn't watch. Don't get me wrong. When I was younger, I liked football, right? And I like football. I like football as a whole. But like when I watch that quarterback from the Chiefs play, you watch some games here and there, but when you see this man play, I ain't never seen no shit like this in my life.
He's different.
He is really unique. Now, that don't mean he's gonna beat the Eagles next week. The Eagles look like they have a really complete team. Just knowing football, I watched them play, and I'm like, they got a great running game, really good quarterback. That'll have a good line and have a good, running game. But it's a magic with this dude, man, with Pat Mahomes. It's a different magic with that dude. Like I've seen probably over the last 10 years, I've probably watched 30 football games max. I pretty much take in most Super Bowls, maybe some playoff games. Every time I watch him play, I swear he's supposed to get sacked.
That's what they want to happen.
Why is it like he's supposed to get sacked? And not only does he not get sacked, he makes a decent pass. You know what? He's like Brett Favre that doesn't throw interceptions.
Yeah. He kind of reminds me of Steve Young from back in the day, who I thought should have won more Super Bowls than he did, but only got one. But he's like a better version of Steve Young.
Yeah, to me, he reminds me of Brett Favre. Like he got just enough scramble to get loose. And, Brett Favre usually throw an interception, but he would just, like, he makes these passes. And I'll be like, how the fuck is that possible?
I remember when he was doing they were doing like some science with him, like one of them, like they was breaking down the science, and I seen him throwing no-look passes, yo. He was throwing no-look passes in football, B. Like he was looking this way and throwing the ball like this to the dude, B. I said, this dude's different, B.
He's just a different guy. And again, I'm not a football guy, so I don't really care if the Eagles win. I don't care if the Chiefs win. Hopefully your team wins, I'm fine. But man, when I tell you that watching him is like different, like I'm talking about, I've watched some really good I watch Joe Montana, I watch Randall Cunningham, I watch Troy Aikman, I watch Warren Moore, I watched some Dan Marino, I saw some good quarterbacks. You know what I mean? I watched Tom Brady, like I've seen that, but this motherfucker is just completely different.
But I'm gonna say this though, right? He's different, but I still don't think he's better than Lamar Jackson though. I think Lamar Jackson better than him though. I think Lamar.
I don't know. I don't watch enough football to have no conversation.
Yeah, I'm going with Lamar. Lamar's different though, but Lamar, you can see with both of them though, it's like showing the evolution of quarterback though. You know what I'm saying?
Lamar is what's his name? He's Russell from the NBA.
Oh, you saying Russell Westbrook?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can see how you say that though.
He hits resistance in the playoffs like a brick wall.
Yeah.
But he's the best player in the world in October.
I mean, it wasn't his fault why they lost last week, though, B. That Mark Andrews dropping that fucking pass was fucking crazy, man. They supposed to have been in overtime, man. That shit was some bullshit. That was some bullshit. That shit was heartbreaking right there, man. All right, let me give me a water real quick. Right back.
No Sillies Live, the lunch hour, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon Pacific Standard Time, right here, Digital Soapbox. Click the thumbs up button. Let everybody know you in the house if you're on YouTube. If you're on Twitter, retweet this link. If you're on Facebook, go on and like the post, share it, let people know you on the spot. Make sure you click that thumbs up button. We do this No Ceilings Lunch Hour stream to promote the No Ceilings podcast. Link down below. Really great episodes, conversations that got too cultural. It's right there below. Amazing conversation with Cam and Steele. New episode dropping tomorrow with me, Pete, and my homeboy Josh from Detroit. You feel me? Click the link below. Listen to it on Apple Podcasts, iHeart Podcasts, or anywhere you get your podcast from. No Ceilings Podcast, executive produced by Charlemagne the God, the Black Effect Network, and iHeart.
If you haven't caught a Jobs podcast yet, that guy's great.
Yeah, Jobs is excellent. It's dropping tomorrow. Conversations about Mexicans and the N-word. It's really interesting conversation. People always on my head, like, why do I allow some of my Mexican partners to use the N-word? And I'm just telling them this is my stance. I'm not saying you should let your homeboys do it. I'm saying this is why me and my homeboys do it. I'm not making a plea for everybody to get away with it, but I'm explaining to the homies and to Pete why it's okay with me with this particular group of people that I grew up with. So it's a great episode. Drop it tomorrow. Make sure y'all be ready for that. You know what I mean? But again, click the thumbs up. Shout out to Boaz. What's up, baby? Shout out to Name Brand Truck D's. Everybody at the lunch table. Israel, Solomon, Peso. What's the deal? V, Glad, Brian, Truck, what's up? Mr. Green, Squish, my favorite moderator of all moderators. My man, Name Brand Name. We got to get on the phone this week. My niece is in the house. Her birthday is Thursday. She is growing up.
Happy birthday.
It's crazy.
Happy early one.
Watch Dejanay. I remember Dejanay was born. I held Dejanay as a baby. You know what I mean? So to watch Dejanay be grown is crazy. You know, to listen to her talk and articulate her thoughts. And she's such a brilliant woman, but it's crazy to watch this little baby be an adult. You know what I'm saying? That shit blows my mind. And I don't say it to her, you know what I'm saying? But I always think when I talk to her, it's just like, it's almost mind blowing. You know what I mean? I can't believe it. Like, it's crazy. This little baby grew up to be like this, you know, really awesome woman. You know what I mean? I need to call my sister and tell her I'm so proud of the job she's done. So shout out to my homegirl from Chicago. She told me I was the Donald Trump of hip hop. And I thought to myself, that was crazy. Like, how can you call me the Donald Trump of hip hop? And she started running stuff off. You know who it was? Trap?
Who was it?
El Janelle.
I thought he was here when that happened.
No, I probably was.
You weren't there. You might come in, I think, a little late.
Anyway, it blew my mind that she called me that. I'm like, how could you call me the Donald Trump? Like, why would you reference me as Donald Trump? Over those last few days, I've been thinking about that.
You realize you are? Is that what it was?
No. Well, no.
Because you're trying to, by all means necessary, push back against the inflation of hip hop.
That's true. That's really true. And I noticed with street urban culture, there was a lot of like-minded things that was happening. A lot of like-minded things that was happening. And I didn't understand. I was like, wait a minute. Like, am I really the Donald Trump of hip hop?
I told you he was a dictator.
And then I'm thinking about it like, I might be the Donald Trump of street urban culture. I was looking at someone talk today when they were talking about, even when I talk about gangbanging, right? Like, I really feel like there is like, I always say this, immigrants in the set. Shout out to my homeboy Beef, Tiny Beef from San Diego. That's our joke. Like, oh yeah, he an immigrant. That's like people who start gang banging, right? They start claiming the gang. They get put on at like 20, 21, 19, 20. They didn't grow up in said community, but one day they drove over because they knew somebody, and at 20 years old or 21 years old, they get jumped into the community. They get jumped into the gang, into the infantry. But they didn't grow up with these people their whole life. And so they cause a level of chaos, and that's a joke. We call them immigrants.
A lot of immigrants pass through San Diego.
And I thought to myself, wait a minute. I might be the Donald Trump of street urban culture completely. Like, all of my views are hella nationalist when it comes to hip hop. I don't even see no reason to compromise a boundary. If you did not grow up in any level of street urban culture, you are not hip hop. I'm not saying you got to be street, right, Pete? I'm saying if the culture that you grew up in is not of street urban ilk, then you are not hip hop. It don't mean you got to be street, but you had to grow up in the culture. I don't care if it's your mom and dad. You could be in the suburbs. If your mom and dad came from the ghetto, any level of street urban culture, your ass is probably street urban culture. Look at Tip's son. The one with the big mouth.
Mm-hmm. The one with the big mouth is crazy.
You know his mouth really big. I'm not talking shit. I'm saying his mouth really big. You know what I'm saying? Like, I forgot his name, but
got sharp bites.
He grew up in a suburb, but you can't tell that little dude he not a ghetto nigga. He talking and all of the above. And I'm sure Tip didn't raise them in a ghetto. I know Tip didn't. Tip had way too much money to raise them in the ghetto. Shout out to my niece, King. His name is King.
King, yeah, it is King.
King.
Yeah.
He raised in a suburb area, but because his father and mother are hip hop, and they raised him like he's hip hop, they raised him street urban culture. That's why he act like that. Now, it didn't matter that his outside and it's probably his school is not of street urban ilk, but inside the house, yo, damn daddy T.I.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't get away from it. Now, look, if your mom and dad are not of street urban culture, but you walk outside and everybody in your house, if you grew up in the street urban element, your ass is street urban culture. It don't matter what your mom and dad doing. They could be church going people. You finna be fucked up some degree. You're gonna have some level of baptized in this culture.
Some bullshit season in there.
Right? Mm-hmm. Now, even if you grew up in a decent household and outside your front door wasn't that bad, but you went to school with all of them ghetto ass kids. It could be half suburban kids or working class kids and half ghetto kids, and that's the ones you hang with. Your ass is street urban culture. But damn it, you not hip hop if you don't grow up in either one. And it made me think to myself, damn, is that what Donald Trump is doing right now to these people?
Moving them out.
He like, you know what, y'all not like, I'm like, so now I don't know how to feel, Pete. I don't know how to feel. Like, is Donald Trump the villain that bad, or is like
he's not the villain at all? There's not an ounce of villain to that guy. Nah, not an ounce of villain to that guy.
Not an ounce of it? Not even a smidge of it?
Nope, none.
I mean, it depends on the way you're looking at it. It depends on who you are looking at it.
So you can look at it the right way, or you can look at it the wrong way.
What's the right way though? What's the right way to look at it?
The right way. Because if you one of the people that like the Selena Gomez shit though, you know what I'm saying? She definitely looking at him as being a villain right now.
Yeah, that was in her crying. I felt so bad. That was so weird, man.
Yeah, she's definitely looking at him as being a villain.
Yeah, because she's emotional and wrong.
I'm not going to talk about politics. I'm just going to focus on good and bad people.
Let's go back to hip hop.
Yeah, but I'm saying even in the conversation, it's like I notice a lot of my like how I see hip hop or street urban culture in general is just like how Trump sees America.
Yeah.
So no, because it's kind of different because it's like the way Trump is dealing with it, like he's ready to take the rights away from people that all right, your family wasn't born here, but you was born here, so you're actually a citizen here. Trump's ready to take that away from people though. So within what you're saying right now, all right, you might not have been raised in the hood, but your parents were raised in the hood, so you hip hop. It's kind of different from what you're saying though. Right
I thought about that, right? And I think that's not the equivalent.
Mm-hmm.
Birthright citizenship, I think the challenge of it from talking to some of my right-wing partners is it would be like the equivalent if you stole a car and you had it long enough and you passed the car on to your kids, that it's their right to own the car. You know what I mean? I think
it's selling a stolen car and being allowed to keep the money.
And I don't know how to feel about that. That's like, I don't know. Again, this is where politics get past me. Because it's like, I don't know. And that's how I feel about most politics. Look, if I was to be president, I would run on simple things like alcohol would be illegal.
No, come on, man. But some people enjoy alcohol.
I bet you they do.
How you gonna do a toast at a banquet or something though now? You gonna do it with water?
Toast some sparkling cider.
So if it ain't, so listen, so basically, if you're the president, everything has to go by the way you live your life.
It's not my life. Look, I was telling my big brother Kill this morning. I was like, there's like standards and morality is a funny thing. Like most people, how they build like what's right or wrong in their life is different, right? It's like some people go by the laws. So if the law says right, they feel like morally it's right to do. And then you have those people who grew up in church, right? And church creates the structure in their life. Like me and you, Trap, we grew up in street urban culture. That creates the morality in our life. Like the law has something to say, but it's some things that we don't even care about the law that, you know, we're going to really make the most out of it, right? So I think people drink because it's legal.
Pull Harvey up, Harvey M. I just had a mental vision of like a bunch of people being forced by law. Like, what does that exercise activity resemble in real time when like someone comes banging on your door? You haven't exercised in 3 days. Legally, you better get your fucking fat ass out here because everybody else is.
He's not wrong. Like, he's not wrong.
Crazy.
Shout out to Harvey M. I would ban fast food and everyone would have to Yes, that's a good law.
I would ban if you do certain like smoke, whatever the fuck. We're banning you from public health care. If you smoke, you better pay for your own fucking health care. For one.
See, that makes sense.
And number two, I would be like this. Look, okay.
Which smoking should be illegal.
Smoking should be illegal before anything else. I mean,
Smoking what? Smoking what?
Anything.
No, not
weed should be illegal. Tobacco should be illegal.
No.
Listen. The reason I say it should be illegal is because you should have to go through something to get it. It should not be accessible to the average person who thinks this is normal or okay. It should be an underground market for it.
No.
Yes.
No.
I hate
weed
the
should
fact.
not be illegal, yo. Weed should be legal everywhere, yo. That shit is grown from the roots of the soil of this earth, yo.
So it's tobacco.
Lots of shit
Well, listen, man, tobacco and hemp could be used like that shit is used in certain way. Hold on. Somebody at my door.
Shout out to my man, the ex-son's husband. Thank you for the $10. Salute 6
That's
burritos
an interesting
on me.
name, the ex-son husband.
Yeah, that's deep. That's deep. Shout out to the homie Dr. Lowe. Thank you for the $5, my boy. Dr. Love. We black people are letting a president divide us even more. Rich black reds versus poor black blues. That's the truth.
A lot
that's
of
always
black people are blue, though.
Yeah, that's always been
the majority.
Shout out to Truck D. Thank you for the $10, my man. Shout out to y'all, man. Glasses, Pete, and Trap. Much love, brother. Much love. You get what I'm saying? Like, alcohol would be illegal.
Yeah.
Right now, again, I know people are going to get alcohol. That's fine. You know what I mean? Like, that's fine, but it should not be legal because it creates morality that this is okay, and people can't handle that type of freedom. Just like tobacco, weed. Like, if you walk in and your son is 14 years old and drinking, I don't care what nobody say, that's going to be a problem. And that's because it should be a problem for you. And it should be something that morally shouldn't be right. You know what I'm saying? But I get why people do it. That should be a part of the underground market.
Yeah. And it should just be like fines. Like you pay a fine. You got caught with some liquor, you pay a fine.
I'm not agreeing with none of this shit y'all saying right now.
I think
I
think that what was most necessary is like everybody gets an audit if you pay tax. At some point you get an audit, right? You should get an audit and be like, look, you fuck off more money than you should. This is criminal. You make $40,000 a year. You've made purchases of A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Those are way out of your lane. Not going to happen. You owe us a fine.
Shout out to Tree. Harming others should be illegal. Harming yourself is your choice. Nope. Harming yourself is illegal too. That's how I feel like in hip hop. That's why I be saying what I be saying about certain artists. Like, that's what I'll say that because if people would, Post Malone doesn't get what he got if I'm there. If I'm elected. If I'm elected. Because it is a representation. Like, people look to hip hop to represent trap or poor voices. They look for it to represent us. And I get it. In some people's mind, people feel like artists just represent themselves. They don't. The artists from your region are your elected delegates. The artists from your community. So even if you online and the artist that you guys put up is your elected delegates. And you should want that person to speak for you and speak of you. It's that serious, because people do look to hip hop to say, what do y'all think is cool? That matters to me. Even with gangbanging, when I see somebody up there talking about gangbanging and they don't know what they talking about, I'll be like, bro, you making us look dumb.
Not bad.
Kelvin's ultimately right, because the cost of centralized decision making, the trickle down costs are like immeasurable, because it's suggesting that one mind is smarter than the aggregate trial and error of a million minds, and that's why free markets and free economies always outgrow centralized planned economies.
I'm not mad at that. Shout out to Kelvin. Man, hell no. All this is anti-American as fuck. Black is anti-American, Kelvin. Starting there. So that's what's wrong with America in the first place. This is the land of the free, not the land of government protect us from ourselves. I think that's the problem, though, Kelvin. I think that's the problem. Like, just like in hip-hop, like the fact that they legalized gambling with Prize Pick is like crazy. Like, humans cannot... Like, human beings, like you got to stop. Like, we can't make decisions separately. Just like in hip hop as a community, we can't make decisions separately. We don't get that every decision somebody else make falls on us. Like, again, it just depends on how you see it, right? If it's like drinking should be illegal. Now, people are going to find ways to drink, but it should not be convenient.
Question: what would the hip hop equivalent? Because like my issue with it is like, look, either you have freedom to fuck yourself up, and we don't provide you a safety net when you fuck yourself up because you fucked yourself up. Everybody else didn't fuck themselves up.
But humans will never accept. That would be like accountability. You feel me? Like, that's like, are you asking human beings to be accountable?
I'm asking them to have self-control. You know what I'm saying? So we feel like if you feel like something isn't for you, then you shouldn't be doing it, though.
Trap.
You know what I'm saying?
You
should lead choice.
You dealt with addiction enough. You dealt with addiction enough to know that that's not really true.
Just have your
you should leave choice. You should leave choice in the humans. You know what I'm saying? Mind. So you could choose if you want to indulge in something. You know what I'm saying? You saying, yo, listen, no, you can't do it. All that's gonna do is make the person want to do it more.
I mean, like right now.
Look, I'm not saying you won't be able to get hooch. You know what I mean? But guess what? You're going to pay You're going to have unregulated, so it could be dangerous. And that's what it should be, because it is dangerous even on a regular level. If you don't treat things that are dangerous like they're dangerous, then people will start to live life and overconsume like they're not dangerous. Here's an equivalent in hip hop. Here's an equivalent in hip hop. Well, no, in gangbanging, the street urban culture that we call gangbanging. Here's a perfect equivalent. Yeah, gangbanging. When you let somebody get put on a set at 23, if they didn't grow up over here, they don't understand the nuance of the relationships with all these communities. I feel like you should not even be able to get put on a set if you didn't grow up over here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you need to come through here the right way. You need to come hang out over here for 3, 4, 5 years.
Yeah, go through the visa process.
Yes. Like a prospect.
Yeah. That's like what the Hells Angels, I guess, do. Like, you're not like a member. You're like, what do they call you? A hangers-on or whatever the fuck their term is for
it. The prospect.
Yeah.
So, like, that's how I feel about gangbanging. Like, right? You should not be able to bang the set.
Gangbanging has turned into the county office. Anybody can go and get something for free.
No, what that shit sounds like to me, like I've never been like a fraternity person and like that, you know what I'm saying? But they say it's the same way with fraternity shit though. So like, say like you in college and you pledge for a fraternity, you know what I'm saying? While you in college and shit, you're looked upon different than the person that that gets put on and pays their way into the fraternity once they finish with college. Like the shit be so crazy. Like I've seen my cousins and shit.
Because it's standard. It's like that's how I feel. And nobody, and even in gangbanging, like with this street urban culture that we call gangbanging, it's a way more dangerous decision who you let represent.
That's fair.
Somebody could make one decision, like where I'm from, somebody that just got put on 2 days ago can go to the PJs and start a war that could last 40 years. That's what happened with the 6s and 8 trays. It's a guy that did not grow up in the 8 trays. He started that war. That war been happening for years.
They ain't even from the hood.
He didn't even grow up with these people. When it was time for them to say, this is the person, they didn't even know how to find the motherfucker. So now we got this war with the 60s and 8 trays who had been friends for years. For years, they had been friends. They had been down with each other for years. Because somebody got killed that mattered. And they couldn't even be like, oh, he live over here. This is his house. They didn't even know this motherfucker. That's to me what it is. Like, this is the representation. And what happens is, like, I saw a guy talking the other day, and he was saying, this person is not a gangbanger. This person is not this and that. A lot of people from the outside looking in don't quite understand what gangbanging is. They think it's about killing people. That's not what gangbanging is about. That's just an outside perspective. And it is some people inside to act like this is what it's about, but I'm going to tell you right now, they not like that. Anybody that challenge what I'm saying, they a fucking fraud. I don't give a fuck which one of these niggas it is. They probably got a problem with their homies now if they challenge what I'm saying. Because what I'm saying, again, and shout out to Keisha, because it does come across very dictatorish. That's cool. But if I don't, y'all fuck it up. Y'all make it look dumb. And don't nobody have no respect for it. Y'all, the last motherfucker y'all did this was in 2008-9. Y'all let this motherfucker represent this street urban culture. Now this motherfucker, he's threatening you can't even make a diss record now. Now major labels might even stop backing shit. Why would they back shit if they like, oh, I got to really scrub every word because the nigga might sue me. Y'all did that shit. Y'all let that motherfucker in because you liked his songs or some dumbass shit. This is way more than songs.
Hotline Bling.
This way more than songs. And it's enough communities at war because nobody became a dictator in thought. Nobody became a man in thought. I don't even want to use the term dictator, Keisha. I'm going to use the term man. Nobody said, you know what? That's a bad idea. Here's a real story. In my neighborhood, it was a dude that got put on. I thought he passed away. I don't think he passed away. They said he passed away, but this nigga hit me on Instagram in the DM.
Did he fake his own death?
I don't know. But again, you know, when niggas go to jail, because he didn't grow up with none of us. So nobody really know him. You would have just heard a rumor that he got killed or stabbed or some shit. You know, he don't call it. We don't know this motherfucker. But long story short, one of the biggest things that happened in my neighborhood that ruined it and kind of ruined my generation was a buddy of mine's killed a buddy of mine's. That's out. That's against the rules. You can't do that. That's out. That's a problem. Feel me? Especially like unauthorized. It's very mafia-like with that point. I agree. It is. You really got to have some level of people got to understand what's happening. Right? He killed a buddy of mine. This is one of the people that mattered the most to me. Right? He's the guy that died. He's my boy Psycho, rest in peace. Moto. Great guy. Jermaine Felt, just an awesome guy. We've been knowing each other since we was little kids. He brought another dude over there that was from another community, and he got put on at 22. This dude goes on to tell on a bunch of people, all kind of stuff. Shit that wasn't like how we were raised to not doing, and can't nobody challenge it. And I told him, I said, man, look, once it was all said and done, it made sense why he would do that. Something got to be wrong with a motherfucker that want to get put on a gang at 22 anyway. We should be referring that motherfucker to a therapist. Why would you want to get put on a gang at 22, 23? Something is wrong with you. And there are some popular YouTubers and people that represent street urban culture in Los Angeles that really got put on too late and they don't get it. So you're watching them and they're misrepresenting the culture. But because they always had an outside perspective of said culture. So they just doing what they think you're supposed to do. They don't even understand why it's the way it is. Go ahead, Pete.
Peso Gretzky said he couldn't find us on YouTube. He's following us on Twitter. So if we could just real quick give a, where to find on YouTube. It's on the
Digital Soapbox
channel. It's not on your channel, right? Or do you have it both?
Digital Soapbox, no.
Yeah, because I had the same issue a while back. I was trying to make a comment because I didn't know that the comment box was just to the right.
Hold on, Peso. I'll text it to you. I put it on Twitter. I'll tweet the link. But this is what happens every damn time. And it's because nobody is regulating the culture. Like there are too much morality issues, Trap. Again, weed shouldn't be legal. You know why weed shouldn't be legal, Trap?
Why?
Because you're gonna be able to get your weed anyway.
Yeah, but then I get pulled over with my weed and get locked up.
It should be that type of gamble.
No.
Yes.
No.
And ain't nobody locking you up. Ain't nobody locking you up for no ounce.
Yes, there is. When that shit, when that shit was illegal in New York, you would get locked up for a joint. For a joint, you get locked up. That shit
Maybe
just
you shouldn't get locked up. You should get fined, but you shouldn't be locked up.
You shouldn't nothing happen to you.
It shouldn't be legal.
Nah.
It shouldn't be legal.
Weed should be legal. All across America.
Alcohol shouldn't be legal. Weed shouldn't be legal. Tobacco shouldn't be legal. Nothing.
What reason would you say it shouldn't be legal though?
Because it creates a moral code that this is okay. Versus people who do it for the reasons that they do it for.
So now weed is used nowadays for medical reasons, you know what I'm saying, for many different reasons, you know what I'm saying? So what you're saying right there within saying it shouldn't be legal is to say that it shouldn't help cure what it's doing. You know what I'm saying?
That's not, that don't mean something is legal.
That don't mean, look, the way you speaking on it is like this, right? Remember back in the day, this is before our time though. But they used to talk about weed like that shit was like the worst thing. Like they had like the movie Marijuana Madness and shit like that, but they were showing like people smoking weed and going crazy and doing crazy shit like that. Which wasn't true. Which wasn't true at all.
That's way
cool. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't true at all. So weed is a drug. Weed ain't even a drug, I feel like that though. You know what I'm saying? Weed is a herbal.
It's a drug, but I agree with you. It don't have the same ramifications as a crack or heroin. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is it shouldn't just be something. What if you saw your 14-year-old kid smoking weed? You couldn't just be okay with it because you know it does something to impair your movement, and it's not age.
It's a regulation on it though. You're not supposed to like it's not. It shouldn't be consumed by people under a certain age though. You know what I'm saying?
That don't even make sense. Why would it be if it didn't have an effect?
Because your brain isn't fully developed at that time to be doing anything like that.
But does your brain got to be fully developed if it's not a threat on your brain?
No, your brain, you shouldn't do a lot of shit. You shouldn't do a lot of shit before your brain is fully developed though. You know what I'm saying? What? You shouldn't like what else? What else would I say? You shouldn't drink too much, you shouldn't have too much sugar. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that.
But that's the point. You get what I'm saying?
You saying that is like saying like sugar should be illegal.
No. White sugar should be illegal.
Because you're racist against sugars.
White sugar
brown sugar good. Brown sugar's good bread though, right?
Regular sugar is cool, but once you start to refine the sugar, that shit should be illegal.
Nah. Listen, man. Shout out to Viola right now. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely shout out to Viola because it is legal.
Yeah, it's super legal. We need to get it federally passed so that it could be legal within everything because this is something that we could get into the business of the same way people got into the business of silk and cotton back in the days though.
And they're gonna put us right out of the business. Soon as Marlboro get in, everybody done.
Budweiser and shit like that, right?
Yeah, you start going to the store.
It doesn't even need to be
like, give me that pack right there. They got the 20 joints in there. You be smacking that shit on your hand. That's when
you know who will get into it? When Elon Musk gets into it and has an indoor grow facility that's 500,000 square feet and runs on pure free electricity because he's managed to solarize and store all the power for it and undercut the market by 60%.
Like, that's when we sell for $3 billion and we out of here though. We cashed out on
They're
them.
not gonna let you sell it for $3 billion. They gonna give you stocks in Marlboro and then let the bottom out.
The issue with weed, and I learned this the hard way in Oregon. It's very easy to grow. It's very, very fucking cheap. And if you have a proliferation of access for production, it becomes unsustainable to hardly even produce because you can grow so goddamn much of it for so fucking cheap.
Well, it's easy to grow, but it's not easy to, you know what I'm saying, to basically put the right genetics together and make the right shit though.
It kind of is.
No.
Shout out to Keisha B. I think we can all agree that this ain't it. We are collectively unhappy and things need to change. I don't know if that's true, Keisha. I think the problem was people before were collectively unhappy as well. I don't think there's a president in America that's not named Glasses Malone that would get everybody to feel the exact same way. I'm the only type of person that can make everybody feel the exact same way.
Yeah, like Castro did.
Like, yeah, you either gonna hate me because nobody can get everybody's love, Keisha. Nobody can get everybody's love. Whether in hip hop right now, you would think right now, even in hip hop, like people be so mad at me because I'm saying something that makes sense. They're like, nah, but it should be more. Everybody should be able to be involved. It don't make sense. It's not cool. It's not cool because you can't see the curve. You know what I'm saying? So I thought about that. Even with gangbanging, I don't think everybody should be able to be from the set. Like, why are we letting everybody get put on? My homeboys argue with me all the time. I'm like, why are y'all putting them people on? I remember it was a dude, shout out to the homie, the young homie, he wanted to be from the set. The first time we was at a hood day, and he was my homeboy's son's best friend. And like this was his first time hanging out in the set. And he wanted to get put on a hood day. I'm like, the homie's finna, obviously your homeboy is looking for a chance to beat somebody up that, they probably had a rough week at work. Maybe wasn't enough money on the block that week. So that, kicking ass make people feel better, especially 5 people kicking one person ass. That's a really simple way to feel good about yourself. It's really some piece of shit, but it works. So they finna get out there and pack him up. And I stop him. I say, cuz, don't put him on. They said, why not? It's 2015. I say, check it out, man. I say, come over here, bro. I said, you want to be from the set? He's like, yeah, I want to be from over here. I was like, why? He was like, well, my homeboy, he from over here. And I'm like, yeah, but that's the reason that you want to risk your life and die for some of these people besides these people you don't know? He's like, yeah, I never thought about it like that. I said, yeah, man, I think you should come over here for a couple more years and see if you like people. See if you like what we stand for. See if you like certain homies. See if certain people going to be good for your life. And he came to another hood day and another hood day, about the 4th hood day. I'm over there. I'm like, they still ain't put you on? He's like, nah, man, is it time for them to put me on? I was like, do you still want to be from over here? He said, yeah. So I said, okay, y'all could put him on. About 7 of them jumped out in the streets with him. I'm like, hey, bro, don't y'all all punch on this little boy like that. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, you get what I'm saying? This is what's happening with culture. It's just getting so loose because it's all people who didn't see it or they not informed on it to know how it's supposed to go. And then it makes me come across like a dictator or like a fascist because I'm telling you this how it's supposed to go. They about to kick this man ass. He finna be y'all homeboy, which he should already been y'all homeboy for y'all jumping on him. But he finna be y'all homeboy, whichever that means, because y'all don't even know him. And they about to kick his ass. He fall on the ground. They about to stomp him. This is your homeboy. Why would you stomp him? Why would you kick him? You get what I'm saying? This is what happened when I let other people fuck with the culture.
But ain't that the way to get put on though?
No. They supposed to rough you up and toughen you up to make sure you stand up for yourself. You can't treat them like an enemy. I saw some on Twitter where they said it was it was gang disciplining their homeboy. Man, they stomping on this man, kicking this man in the face and all kind of shit. Bro, I'm busting on the homies at that point because we ain't homies.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what I did. If that's a put off. Some of this shit that young niggas is calling the DP, that's a put off. And really, I'm supposed to come back and shoot at y'all over this. I stand by this. I told y'all that nigga wasn't hip hop. I told y'all that shit in 2018. I said, hey man, this dude ain't hip hop. Wasn't even on no malice shit. I said, he's not hip hop. Y'all should stop calling him hip hop artist. Stop treating him like he a hip hop artist. Let him just be a rapper, a pop star that makes rap songs. I told y'all that shit 7 years ago. Everybody cussing me out every week. I'm like, why y'all cussing me out? I'm not saying nothing bad. Y'all cussed out Mos Def. Y'all all supposed to love Mos Def.
Crazy on Mos Def.
Y'all talked about this man crazy. Y'all did all this old fuck ass, punk ass shit. This fucking Mos Def.
Word.
And it's Mos Def.
He said it the best way you can say it.
What he said, you want to hold on to that motherfucker's music so long, and you think it had to be this or it had to represent you and it had to do all this old punk ass shit. You thought you had to have him. Now this motherfucker threatened the way and the thing that we love the most.
Let's not forget, man. He's a connoisseur on battle rap too, man. Like he really studied it, man. You know what I'm saying? So,
but that's the problem. What we are is not something you can study. You're it. That's the same thing I'm talking about. These gang members who study gangbanging, and then they come in and be like, well, you know, you're not supposed to get along with them. And I'm like, bro, I remember I was in New York. Shout out to all my homeboys from New York, all homies from A-Train, and all the neighborhood Crips on the East Coast. Solid dudes, a lot of solid dudes. I was talking to the dude from A-Train. He's like, yeah, we don't really fuck with the neighborhoods. And I'm like, why? He's like, because back home, first off, y'all got your own gang. You're going to have your own problems. Y'all going to have your own problems. Don't get me wrong. I love the fact that we connect brothers across this country. I think that's a benefit. I love when I go to Memphis and I go to Newark and people saying, what's up? And hey, it connects us. I think that's beautiful. But trust me, you don't got to pick up none of our issues. You're going to have your own. You out here, you committing crimes in the name of furthering your movement and all that. You're going to make up your own enemies. You do not have to start off with none. People going to make you not like them.
When you said back home, did you mean like that building right there?
Yeah, the Mecca. The Mecca. No, he means the Mecca of Crippin' and blood and culture.
No, I know that, but back home when you don't live there, it's like
I get it, because it's like I never lived in the South, but I say back home. When I say hip hop, I be thinking about the Mecca. I be like, oh, you know, New York, like, you know, culture is culture.
So when you get in the studio, when you get in the booth, and you about to lay down, you know, back home, they really used to put it down like I'm about to right here, and then lay down a verse.
Yes, that kind of would be tight. What's funny is I'm working on this dope song, and I'm just studying this Protect Your Neck from Wu-Tang because it's that kind of song, and I'm like, yeah, you know, how did they do this? Let me add this, and that's what you're supposed to be that connected to the culture. There's a naturalness about existing in culture, but then there's a special thing that you get when you start to study the history of it. That's like being black, Pete, like, or being, in your particular, being Italian. Like, it's gonna be certain things that you're gonna just do on your own, but then once you connect DNA, you start to realize how many more things that you start to realize how much more stuff you're capable of based off of what everybody else did in this lineage. What's possible? How about that?
No,
you're not fucking with that. Okay.
Mario Paulo got me.
I said
Mos Def was tripping saying the elevator rap.
But I said that 7 years ago.
He said that on several episodes over the years. I think it was like season 1.
He really does, bro. That's not Disney. That nigga should be jamming, but it'd be like that elevator jam. You know what I mean? You can hear it.
Starbucks music.
If anything, you should. I have an idea. I think you should sue Mos Def for using your phraseology and potentially benefiting therefrom.
Right. Just bring that in here. Bring suing into hip hop now.
This isn't hip hop. This is just language branding. This is the podcast space now. This is the podcast space. There's no hip hop here.
Hip hop go through the podcast space. Like this is a hip hop stream. We have a hip
Rap
hop
music
podcast.
goes through the hip hop or the podcast space. Hip hop comes from the streets.
Yes, but because I am from the streets, our podcast is dominated in street urban culture.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Facts. So I thought about it and I was like, damn, is it wrong to be Donald Trump in this space? No, because it needs it.
Someone's got to balance the books, God damn it. Somebody.
Now, I don't know if Donald Trump is going to quite do that for America. Like, again, because I don't quite know how to feel about the DEI stuff. I got my own ways I feel about that. I got a million ways I feel about a million things. I don't really get caught up in all of that, like, because it's like, I get everybody's perspective. Now, if it was like reparations, I get it. You know what I mean? But again, these weird things where it's like, I'm not quite sure they for us, but they could benefit us. That's not enough. That's not enough for me. So, you know, I'm not finna get into that. And I don't want to get into politics. I'm going to stick to these hip hop politics until the day Pete prepares me to run for president, for president of America.
So Sherry now identifies as a suburban mom? Does she have like Chardonnay nights and stuff like that?
Yeah. Sherry be cussing me out on Instagram all the time. Ask Pete. I mean, ask Trap. She be cussing me out on Instagram.
I believe that. Oh, I did see that one time.
That's why that's why it should be illegal.
What, Instagram?
Like wine, like the type of wine she be drinking. I think she drink that E40 wine.
She drinks that wine Drake sings about. That what
Carlo Rossi.
The other one. Moscato, that Moscato shit.
Moscato, that sweet shit.
Flavor wine.
Yeah, that
sweet shit.
Yeah.
Sherry probably drank Taylor Port.
No, don't put Taylor Port on her.
Don't
put Taylor Port on her.
Jada, for sure. She be drinking. How you get that plastered off wine is crazy. You know how much wine you got to drink to get plastered?
That shit made me go to sleep.
You know how much wine a person can drink? Wine's easy to drink.
Is it?
Yeah, it's pretty easy to drink.
Man.
Wine don't look like it tastes good.
Nah, you get some good wines. Wine is good. Wine is good for certain foods though too.
That soda is good for everything.
Soda should be illegal.
If everything is diabetes,
I'm saying soda is good for everything. See how y'all see that, and that's another thing that scared me when y'all start talking about liquor. Be like, well, you know, this go with this steak. Wait a minute, soda go with everything.
Soda does not go well with steak.
Soda goes delicious with steak.
No.
Oh no.
Yes.
No.
Oh, no.
Yes. Soda goes with everything. Juice goes with everything.
Maybe a ginger ale with a steak could survive, but that's
water
pushing it.
Water goes with everything.
Shout out to Sherry. Thank you for the $10. We're gonna send you some Taylor Port for your birthday so you can get plastered.
A big jug.
Big jug. Carlo Rossi.
Oh boy.
Again, so it's like I think I need to be this in this space. I don't think I have much of a choice but to be this in the space. I think God needed me to be this in the space. I need to do the greatest job ever at this. Because other than that, who else is gonna protect hip hop? Who gonna protect street urban culture if I don't? Y'all gonna have these people up here lying, making it look like they the whole spiel.
I didn't want to do this, but one of our regulars, of whom I was previously a fan, we're gonna have to kick our first guy out.
Who?
Sorry. Name brand.
Why you kicking name out?
What happened?
Tiki Punch Shasta goes with everything.
He's right.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
He's right. Tiki Punch goes with everything.
No.
You ever had Delaware Punch, Pete? That's kind of cheap. I don't know if you ever poured me in Delaware Punch.
Delaware Punch.
It's a soda.
No, didn't Joe Biden campaign on that?
Hell no. This would be way above his. This way below his shit.
He pretends to be blue collar. He's from Delaware.
No.
Delaware Punch. I never had that before either.
Delaware Punch is some West Coast stuff.
It ain't make it over here.
Yeah.
It's like that Big Red and all that right there, Big Blue. I ain't make it here either.
Yeah, Big Red was something.
Yeah.
Is Squirt a big thing on the East Coast? Squirt?
I think I'm starting to see that though. It wasn't really major though, like that.
It's crazy how things could be. Y'all had a soda y'all was telling me about that I never heard of. It was completely different.
To my Tahiti treat.
Definitely never had that.
Tahiti treat. We had this other soda back in the days that was running rampant through the hoods though. Tropical Fantasy. I ever had that? That was the 50-cent sodas.
No, 50 Cent had a soda?
No. The soda, it cost 50 cents.
Oh,
like a little bottle. Then they put like a little fucking, like it was like a myth going around. It was saying that the KKK put it in the hood to shorten motherfucking sperm counts and shit.
Oh yeah, they got that in. They call that Jim Jones in jail, in county jail. It's like a red juice, and they say it make you sterile.
We need to do what was it, that yellow number 5 dye or something? I want to do a real scientific analysis on this yellow number 5. Is this an urban legend? Is this real? How potently can it make you impotent? That needs to be answered once and for all.
Facts.
How much of that shit do you got to drink? I'll tell you this much. If you drink 75 pounds of fucking sugar to get your 1/4 ounce of yellow number 5, you're impotent from the sugar.
Yeah.
Oh, we do got Arizona tea, but I think Arizona tea is across the country.
That's everywhere. Arizona
tea went national.
Yeah. Arizona tea everywhere.
I don't know. I've been seeing the politics. I like, again, I don't envy that job, but again, Trump is in a weird space to where people gonna hate it and people gonna love it. See, to me, I believe everybody should just hate my decisions. Like I could unite the whole country on people hating my decisions.
You should just campaign on just being 4 years of vegetables. I am the vegetables, but I want carbohydrates. Nobody asked you.
Yeah,
you're getting 4 years of vegetables, and that's all there is to it.
But it should be, bro. And hip hop, I need my hip hop to stay street urban culture. I don't think nobody else should really have access. I think everybody can make rap songs, but they shouldn't be considered what we are. Shout out to Sherry. I think Trump is doing good things so far.
Sherry in Miami-Dade now, right?
Yep.
She just got herself a free dinner.
I don't know about that, man. I don't know. I don't think Trump could make it. I don't think it's possible. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
What?
Being he said this time around he's gonna really show that he's making America great. You know what I'm saying? Again. So we're gonna see.
The limits. The challenges are that you get a 4-year term to be president, and it takes 5 years to get through the courts. That's the reality.
No, that's a fact.
Okay. Here's one more thing. Here's one more thing. What could Trump do right? Everybody at the lunch table, ask that question. What could Trump do right?
What could Trump do right?
Yeah.
I don't think no president really came up in there and did everything right. You know what I'm saying? Or even basically put a lot of focus on just one group of people or anything like that.
Shout out to Kelvin. I agree that he for sure moved to the #1 president of all time for me. There's pretty much ain't nothing else no other president could do. Reparations, and he never would. Yeah.
Over Obama?
Yeah, if he gave reparations, Obama's not even in my top 5 presidents right now. Obama probably be like 12.
I asked this question before, right? I asked this question yesterday. Though.
Property tax.
Has there ever been a president that did a term, went to go get reelected, didn't win that one, but then came back and got reelected on this
one time?
Ran again. One time.
Yeah. I think Garfield, right?
Yeah, Garfield's a one-time happened. They tried somebody else. Just like, you know what? I didn't like how that went. Let me go back.
They brought him back up. Right.
And that's what happened with Trump.
Teddy Roosevelt tried to do that and failed. It fucked us all in the ass with Woodrow Wilson.
I see they trying to make that third shit possible. That was set. It's not gonna happen, but I'm saying that was set for the greatest showdown in presidential history.
You seen what Lou said, right?
Lord.
You seen what Lou said? see what Luke said
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that
that would be
shit?
the greatest. That would be the greatest showdown in American history.
He said
If that was to pass,
it's gonna
and
be
it was a
great.
third term possible, him versus Barack would be like
Bring
the Lakers
Obama
versus
back.
the Celtics in the 80s. It'll be like
that's a fact.
it would be the greatest. All the TV, every channel would be
Greatest
just
show on
crazy. I almost want to see it just to be entertained.
Word.
Look who
That'd
wins. I just would like to see that. Trump versus Barack for the first third term.
Crazy.
It'd be like The Rock versus Stone Cold or Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant.
That'd be crazy.
But that ain't gonna happen.
I got Barack winning. I got Barack winning right there.
Who's number one? Lincoln. Oh, my top three. Lincoln is number one. Yeah, I know he didn't free the slaves because he's messing with black people, but accidents still work. And what I really appreciate about so listen, I don't look. There was a black president who didn't give black people reparations. So I think we are in trouble. So I could never judge a president. That's why all presidents are horrible to me, no matter what. Every president did a bad job. Every last president in history did a bad job because none of them gave reparations. So every president, let's start there. Now, if I had to choose from the guys who did a bad job, number one would be Lincoln. Lincoln would be number one because he took the currency back and made the greenback. He took the currency back from the Federal Reserve, printed his own money, and was finna go all the way. And he kind of fought to keep all of these white folks together. They was trying to separate. And he was like, y'all stand together. And he forced them to stay together. He fought a war. That's why he'd be number one for me. Number two would probably be somebody who owned slaves and Andrew Jackson. But anybody who dude on the front line is just an ill person. And he was against, you know what I mean, like private entities controlling American dollars. So that made him number two.
Name brand just won himself back into our good graces. But I have a question. Is it fair to call Barack Obama the Drake of presidents?
Nah, he probably wouldn't be that bad. Not bad, but he wouldn't be that. He's more like, huh?
Am I?
Yeah, compare Barack to Drake. That's crazy.
He is the Drake.
He is from Chicago.
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's from Hawaii.
Yeah.
He's half Kenyan. He's from Hawaii. And he moved to Chicago and got put on in his 30s.
It's true. It's true. But Drake never got put on, so it's different.
Never.
But he but he kind of started, rapping like he did.
Yeah.
Barack smokes cigarettes.
Nah, I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah,
Number three.
In 2 days, you'll change your mind.
No,
I gotta think. You're right. Let me think about it. Let me think about it. Number three. Probably George Washington.
I knew you were gonna say George Washington.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be George Washington. It ain't really been a lot of good presidents over the last 40 years since I've been alive.
Where Bill going at?
Bill Clinton?
Yeah.
Crime Bill?
Crime Bill.
Yeah, Bill Clinton would be so low.
Saxophone playing Bill.
No, that hot sauce in the bag Hillary and sax playing Bill, that don't mean nothing to me. It's Crime Bill.
Was he
Clinton.
pandering when he was playing the saxophone?
You said who?
Was he pandering when he was playing the saxophone? When he pulled the saxophone out?
He was pandering when we made that girl play his saxophone.
Shout out to Revenge. Obama didn't have the freedom to act like Trump, though. It's different. That's a lie. He don't have the power to trip like he wants to. That's a lie. He didn't want to rock no boats. He's a politician. Trump is a fool.
He's a transactional politician.
Yeah, Jimmy suspended indefinitely.
By the Heat?
Yes.
For what? I didn't even see what happened.
You don't want to suit up. You don't want to suit up.
Crime Bill Clinton. That's Crime Bill Clinton. He couldn't be on my top. That was a horrible job. I don't know. We're gonna go through it. Lincoln is number one, though. Lincoln is the best president ever. Lincoln is the best president of the trash presidents.
We playing John. We playing Kennedy.
I
He
think
didn't
you
get a
got to give
chance to get busy.
Washington his
Kennedy not on?
respect because
He didn't even get a chance.
he led from the front. He actually like fought in the lines.
Yeah.
He's the only person, like, even like your Eisenhowers and other people like that. I don't think they actually fought in the lines. You know, like Eisenhower was calling shots from afar, but still far.
Yeah. Now Lincoln is the best of all of Lincoln is the best of what we have to pick for for us. Then Andrew Jackson, he owned slaves and was hella racist, but he was a dog. He was a dog. He got shot. Like he almost got assassinated and it kept cracking. That's like he made it crack.
Didn't he like run an obscene amount of bitches through the White House?
I would imagine he's my kind of guy, so I would imagine. You know, listen, I like my white men pretty obviously racist for the most part.
That's your preference?
Yeah,
That's an interesting preference.
Yeah, because if you racist, you really racist. It's like when I talk to you, Peter, certain things you be like, you not conceding, even though you don't, I don't like that, but you're gonna be like, you know what, I don't get what you're saying. And I can deal with that. I think most white people don't get what I'm saying.
That's probably
we talk about stuff, and I'll be like, really, Pete? Like, I wouldn't do that. Hold on, let me see. Andrew Jackson, Indian Removal Act. Signed in 1830. This act authorized the forced relocation of Native American tribes from their ancestral lands in the southeastern U.S. to Indian Territory west of Mississippi River, leading to the tragic trail of tears. Bank War. Jackson vehemently opposed the Second Bank of the United States, believing it gave too much power to a small elite, and successfully vetoed its recharter bill, effectively dismantling the bank. That putting number that he's a, you know what it is, Pete? I like my white people white.
That's reasonable. That's
you get what I'm saying? Like I like my brothers.
Yeah,
I like
you don't want Taco Bell, you want like Taqueria de Oro or something like that.
No, I won't. If I go to a white man's barbecue, I want I want raisins in my potato salad.
Wow.
Raisins in my coleslaw. When I go to a white man's table and I eat, the steak better be medium, rare to
blood pouring out of it.
It needs to be white. I don't like when I go and there's white people that's acting too black. That kind of make me, you know what I mean? Like who'd you grow up with? Was you watching videos or something?
Man.
So I think that's what I like about Andrew Jackson. He was a white man for real. Like he got shot. First off, he dude somebody. You a ill nigga if you dude somebody, Trap. He dude somebody.
Yeah.
Got shot and won a shootout. Then he tried to get assassinated and tripped. Like, I like my white men white, bro. If I'm going to appreciate your whiteness, be white. Don't act like you dare. Like that's what I like about like Clinton and Biden. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't act like you down and then I look around and you did some shit that showed me you wasn't down. And you can't just be down for rich black people neither. That's the only thing that scared me about Trump. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna hate niggas, you gotta hate us all. Don't like some of us. You know what I mean? So I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna wait it out and see what happens.
Yeah.
Jackson was seen as a champion of the common man, appealing to the ordinary citizens and farmers, which solidified his political base. Territory expansion. During his presidency, the U.S. acquired new territories, including Florida, which Jackson had played a key role in securing during his military. This is who Trump be trying to compete with. Andrew Jackson.
Would you move to Greenland if we got it?
I don't even think you know who Andrew Jackson is.
Trump know Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson is a prize white man.
Trump is not into none of that. He don't know no past presidents like that.
No, he know popular people.
Yeah.
Controversial figure. Despite his popularity, Jackson's legacy is complex due to his aggressive policy towards Native Americans and his strong stance against the national bank. That's my kind of guy. That's my kind of white man.
Yeah, he took he got rid of the national bank.
Yeah.
Created the Federal Reserve, which then after about 100 years got corrupted.
Yeah.
But it was a good run.
Yeah. He was an ill dude. I mean, he was an ill cracker. He was an ill white man. As president, Andrew Jackson is most notably known for his forceful removal of Native American tribes. That's some white man
I
shit.
thought he
for
was
real.
most known for the Mexican War.
His forceful removal of Native American tribes from the southeastern United States through the Indian Removal Act. His bank wars were where he successfully vetoed the recharter of the Second Bank of the United States and for championing the common man. See, I like white men who appreciate the average white man. You get what I'm saying? Like if you're a white man that care about the average white man, you are all right white man. You know what I mean? Like, where is the steel mill guys? You know, the hard hat guys.
The oil man.
You know what I mean? That's a president. You know, you're supposed to be able to walk up to a president and be like, what's up? And he'd be like, what's happening? And like, you know what I mean? The one thing I do, if there's one thing specifically that I can appreciate about Trump, he tweets from an Android.
No.
Yeah, I know that don't sound like much, but for you to have an Android and be tweeting and shit, you a regular nigga right now.
He really don't fuck with Apple. He really don't fuck with Apple, huh? All right.
I mean, to even have an Android. Like people talk shit about Trump being on Twitter, and I really don't think that's a bad thing, nigga, because you on Twitter.
X.
Same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Android, though. Damn. It kind of lost points for me on that one right there, man. I'd be pissed off getting a fucking text from Trump in the green bubble. I'd be pissed the fuck off.
Revenge, this is the thing. Shout out to Revenge. He said, so you want them to be brutal, but you want your reparations. You're a wild man, dog. No. I'm a black man. Every black man should know that they are due and entitled to reparations. Every white man that's a white man most likely is trying to avoid paying the reparations. That's the standard.
What the hell, Pete? You all right?
Yeah, I slept funny, man. My whole shoulder
You
and neck.
You gotta stop drinking. You gotta stop drinking before 12 o'clock, man. That's what happened.
It's 3 o'clock Eastern, buddy.
Well, I'm on West Coast time. I pull up here. He's on my lunch table. I'm on the West Coast time right now.
Yeah, I like my white people white. I'm okay with that. I don't want them to act like they want to help me. I don't believe it. And maybe that's crazy, but I just know they don't.
I think we're saying to that.
Yeah.
I think we're saying to that.
Shout out to Amir K. That's crazy coming from black man. You know what? I know I get it. I get why it sounds crazy, but honestly, this is gonna sound raggedy. And Pete is my nigga. I just think all white people is racist. Like, how could you not be racist if you're a real white man from America?
No.
How could you not have some kind of superiority complex over somebody you can see just get shot and killed every day in the streets and don't nothing happen to nobody? How could you not feel superior if you seen you made somebody work for free for 400 years, 300 years, and you didn't even have to pay them even to this day? How could you not think you better than them? The average woman think they better than a prostitute.
Okay. Trying to use a rationale standard and then infuse it into a parallel involving the female mind, we're going to have to go ahead and restart that from the beginning.
Crazy.
Shout out to Michael Love. Thank you for the $5. Make sure you hit the like button before you sit your tray on the lunch table. That part right there. Yeah, I'm not. See, he talking about like Jerome D is saying, I think all people. Can't nobody else be racist in America. What are you talking about, Jerome? Can't nobody else be racist?
Anybody can be racist.
See, that's the white man's answer.
You can be prejudiced. You can't be racist.
You can't be racist, Pete, if you can't oppress people.
Yeah.
No, that's not not a terrible nouveau definition. That's like the nouveau definition of gender.
Not the modern day version of racism, where it's like as long as you think you better than somebody because of race. I mean, real racism, not like the 2020 Webster, definition. I mean, racism the way we speak of it. We're not just talking about.
You mean you can't implement a racist structure,
which
you can
is
be racist.
Which is why we saying racism, because other than that, it's like being rich without having money.
Rich in spirit. So you say they're racist in spirit.
That's like saying you rich without money. I'm rich. You got $100 in the bank, but you rich. And people, yeah, that don't count.
People just I guess we just invented a new meaning of the word racist then.
Yeah, they got the modern, the PC version that make everybody feel included. Like the PC version of serial killer.
The meaning of the word is to have a prejudicial negative stigma defined by a person's race. It's not the structures that sprout from that. Those are the structures that sprout from that are their own thing. It's not the word itself is a subsidiary under the prejudice umbrella versus being like what religious or gender or height or whatever prejudice you might be. The same as being a sexist. I mean, just saying, it's just the meaning of the word. Just find. I'm disagreeing with the concept.
No,
just find a new word. Just find a new word.
Find a new word besides racist.
If you want to talk about just the ramifications of an oppressive structure, then find a word that describes the oppressive structure itself, not just the way a person could think and see two people and go, one's of this race, one's the other race. I don't know either one, but I like that one and hate that one's guts.
Okay, so pull the word. Let's make the
maybe oppressive. Word. Maybe oppressive is a better word. It's hard for black people to be oppressive. That would be a challenge. Does that seem fair?
Sure.
I have no problem with that.
Shout out to Mary Kay. Having a white man try to explain racism is crazy. No, that's not fair.
I'm explaining English. No. Having a white man explain English is not crazy. Just dialing it right. Just dialing it right in there.
I get what you said, but that's funny. I'm funny. Yeah, I'm crying. It does seem crazy. Like, no, glasses.
That just happens to be the word.
That's like I'm crying. It's like a slaver. Be like, listen, now racism. No,
I'm not okay with the cause. I'm okay with the term.
We know what you mean, Pete. But we know what you mean, Pete. But it is funny to Amir's point. It just sounds crazy. Like,
I'm setting myself up to get cropped and edited really badly here.
No, that's fact. If we was clipping, that would go viral. They'd be like, "What's up with that white man? Why is he scorched?" What's up with that white man? Why is he explaining racism to us? Imagine a slaver explaining, like, no, racism, he got the whip and shit. He like, racism.
Logically, that's how that should be. If only white people can be racist, then only white people should be able to explain being racist because we're the only ones being racist. Everyone else is just guessing what we're doing. If we're the ones doing it, we should be the ones explaining it, right?
I think y'all call it life.
Whatever you want to call it. Whether it be a cereal or whatever.
No. Okay. No, so look, I don't think white people innately started off racist. I don't think white people, God damn it. I don't think white people can start off innately racist. I think the pursuit of having abundance created racism in the way we're describing it. Is that fair, Pete?
Sure.
Like, we have an oppressive nature to dogs. Right? Like we oppress dogs. Like, we really feel like dogs need us and we can own dogs. Think about that. Have a great day, Keisha. Get back to work. Thank you for sitting right here with us and letting us entertain you for your lunch hour. Get back to that coin.
All right, Keisha, holler at you later.
Shout out to me. It's just every day. It's facts. It's facts. That's true too. Whom white people don't like that. They do got a different relationship with them fucking dogs. Shout out to dogs are domesticated. We have responsibility to the dog. No, you don't. No, you don't. I don't know what. No, you don't. Dogs don't need you. Dogs do not need you.
Shit, my dogs need me.
See, that's racist.
Dogs need me.
Your dogs don't need you.
They do.
No, you need your dogs.
I gotta feed my dogs. I gotta walk my dogs. I don't gotta walk them really though. They can piss the shit anywhere they want it. So I gotta give them something to drink. I gotta give them loving. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
I've been ignoring Humble One to Don because he's been just dying for this attention.
I see that.
And we really just been ignoring you because some of your stuff is just ridiculous.
Yeah, ridiculous.
I'll take it on because you at the lunch table was my first time seeing you. You can't do geometry problems. I actually got an A+ in geometry, and I had AP geometry. You can't do algebra problems.
Smarty
I had
low.
an A+ in AP algebra. You can't do trigonometry problems. I had an A+ in trigonometry AP.
Yeah, I know you talking to.
He said, but you could pick up a 40 Glock and shoot another nigga. I definitely have shot another motherfucker and call that black power and black magic. Yes, I have. Because that nigga needed to be shot. The difference is I would shoot a white man the same way. I would shoot a white man the same way. Everybody equal. I am equal. There's nobody that is above me harming them if they do something to me. Nobody in existence. I am fair. That's the difference. I never shot a brother because he was just a brother. Never in my life. I was like, look at that brother. Let me shoot that brother. Never. Never in my life have I did something to a brother just because he was black. I was just talking to El Janelle about this. She was saying that black people, I'm like, El Janelle, ain't nobody never did nothing to nobody black because they black. Never. In the history of niggerdom, how they did something to black people, look at that nigga over there. Let me just shoot that nigga. Yeah. That's just a fib.
That goes back to the first debate I ever got in at the Signal Hill studio back in the day, however many years ago, with Malcolm.
Yeah.
Some guy, I don't remember who he was making that claim. I was like, no, if that happens, it's because you're assuming, based off of where that guy is located and being black at the time, that he's a member of an opposing party that could potentially cause you harm.
That's crazy. I was explaining that to El Janelle.
I just go out of town. Hey, that guy's black. He's in the parking lot. What? No.
Exactly. And I was explaining that to El Janelle because she was like, so you mean to tell me nobody never said nothing to you just because you was black? I'm saying, yes, if I'm in somebody else's community and they don't know if I'm a threat or not, yes, people have asked me, hey, where are you from? Because they're trying to see and define if I am a threat to them. Now, if it's a white man, she's like, well, you wouldn't do it to a white man. Well, what kind of white man are we talking about? Is he a white man wearing Dickies and Chucks? Because he getting hit up too. Now, if it's a white man dressed like the mailman, he not getting hit up. Neither is the mailman if he dressed up as a black man. If a black man dressed up as a mailman, ain't nobody hitting him up. Hey, where you from, mailman? Cuz nobody hitting him up. You have to give ideas so we can see culturally or the tribal root of an issue. But if you like a doctor and shit, like ain't nobody hitting up a black policeman like, where you from, nigga? Nobody doing that to him. Like, it's only when you look like you're in this cultural tribalism thing we got going on to be like, hey, what's up with you? Where you from, homie? Because now we're trying to diagnose if you're a threat.
And yeah, it seems like if you're 75 years old, probably
nobody
not
hitting you up. Hey, old man, cuz, where you from? Old man, where you from? Cuz, where you from?
Man, where you from, old man?
What's up with you, old man? Cuz, where you from?
What's up, old man?
You want some of this too, old man?
You want some of this too, old man? You want some too, old man? Old ass.
Nah, so that was her point, and she was saying that, and I was saying, like, we're just aware, we're assessing situations. But again, if you dress like you're not a part of the culture, it depends too. You know what I mean? It depends too. Like, do we think you're a gangbanger and you don't look like a gangbanger? Maybe. Maybe, possibly. But I don't know. For the most part, we're not hitting everybody up. You got to look like you're a part of the program. If you don't look like you're a part of the program, ain't nobody finna be asking you nothing. But don't get me wrong, sometimes people be part of the program, but then dressing like they ain't a part of the program, so that person might get asked too. You got to actually be some kind of profession. Ain't nobody hit the UPS man up. Hey, where you from, UPS man?
Isn't there a neighborhood whose colors are brown too?
Yeah.
Spooktown, Buzztown.
Yeah.
Those two for sure wear brown.
That was kind of perfectly said. Look at Nick, what he said. Look at Nick said. He said Drake is Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai.
I never saw The Last Samurai.
That
You know
was
who
crazy.
Drake is? Drake is the character in that movie with what's that damn movie with Ben Stiller?
Which one?
In Ben Stiller, Brandon T. Jackson.
Oh, you talking about Tropical Thunder?
Yes. He's
Tropical Thunder.
old boy's character. Robert Downey's character.
Robert Downey. Yeah. Yo, that was yo, bro. I don't know how Robert Downey got away with doing that shit in that movie.
Because it was great.
That motherfucker. That's the only time I seen somebody do blackface and not get killed for doing that shit.
It was great. It was so great too.
Yo, that shit was amazing. Yo, he killed that shit.
Hold on, let me find that. What's that movie?
What the name of the movie?
Yeah, Tropic Thunder, right?
Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, let me see what his name was. That's who my boy is, cuz my boy is that dude.
No, bro, they said it from the jump, man.
Kirk Lazarus.
Kurt Lazarus, yeah.
That's his name. Kirk Lazarus.
They said this was Drake's biggest role right now. This was Drake's
Kirk
biggest
Lazarus.
role was within playing an American rapper. This was his biggest role right here he played of his career. You know what I'm saying? Niggas fell for that shit though too.
Yeah, it was good. He got cracking on that part. I like that part.
Yeah. Nah, he did. Yo, that was crazy the way he did on that shit though, man.
That shit was great. But that's cuz that's Aubrey, cuz that's that nigga. He all the way in.
All the way in. All the way in. He played an American rapper, B. He didn't even play a Canadian rapper. He played an American rapper. He played an American rapper. Not even a Canadian rapper, B. That shit was crazy, B.
He got that off, too.
Word.
Oh, shit.
That's crazy, bro. Yeah, he's ill for that shit, man. A lot of motherfuckers fell for that shit, though. Yeah. That's crazy.
They was cussing me out, too.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Kelvin. Kelvin said, credit where credit is due. Bro, the greatest actor of all time. That for sure is the greatest role.
Greatest role. That was the greatest role.
That is the greatest role for sure. Man. Because people really was cussing me out about that shit. No, for real revenge, like greatest. No, not talking shit revenge. People was really cussing me out, bro. Like, of course he's street urban culture. And I'm like, what? No, just, no. So it was that first wave of street urban culture. And then it became like, well, you don't got to be street urban culture. I'm like, well, why would you use slang or the N-word? I was telling Trap this, talking to a homie one time. I'm like, well, why do you use the N-word? He's like, well, I was in college. College? That's like getting put on a set in college. I don't think you should be gangbanging. I'm not going to really respect your gangbanging if you got put on this late. That's not to say you ain't a killer. You could kill everybody, but it just look weird. Is that fair? It just look weird.
It is. It is fair.
So again, this is No Ceilings Live, the lunch hour every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon Pacific Standard Time. We'll be right back here Wednesday at noon. Click the like button. Let everybody know you're in the house. Twitter, retweet this or re-exit, however y'all say it. Facebook, like it, share the post. We do this stream to support the No Ceilings podcast. It's a link below. It's incredible. Check it out. Apple Podcasts, iHeart Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcast. The No Ceilings Podcast, executive produced by Charlemagne the God, the Black Effect Network, and iHeart. Nice. Shout out to Amir K. Now I ain't gonna hold you. Back in 2009, me and Shaka Zulu had a conversation about homie. We was both like, we can't relate. It doesn't seem real. Back then I thought it was cool, but it did. When the mic came on, it was different. It come on. Shout out to Humble One. Here goes you projecting on other people how you feel like they shouldn't be successful, and it should be you. I don't know about that.
Why do you? That shit is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, you got to let the trolls, you got to feed the trolls every now and then. Can't be selfish.
Aubrey Angels,
something about us talking about movies that we weren't in. Just to be fair, most conversations about movies are had by people who were not in the movies.
Yeah, it's just weird. Yeah.
There are programs on television dedicated singularly to that cause.
Yeah.
Hold on. He said, are you putting down Drake? Why are you putting? I don't think we're putting down Drake. I don't think none of us ever talked about how great of an artist he was, or he's a bad artist, or a bad person, or nothing. Like, I have no idea.
Do none of these conversations have we ever said the man makes bad music?
Yeah. or he's not
Never.
talented, or
Never. They
yeah,
never
like what?
said it.
How is
Can't
that
say
putting somebody down?
Can't say that.
That's always been my thing, and that's the part about being in this position is when you say something and everybody says somebody's a bad person, and it's like, well, I don't think I ever said he was a bad artist. I don't think anything. I have no idea what you mean. I put him down. I think I've only lifted him up.
I really be thinking that I've come to the point with them thinking that a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, want to just they want to just let everybody be a part of this. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what I'm saying. Is that Donald Trumpish? Because like where that like
what,
people
not
feel the
letting
same way
everybody
right
be a part?
now. Yeah, where everybody's like, you know, everybody want to be American.
But everybody ain't American though. You know what I'm saying? Everybody not American. You know what I'm saying? You ain't from the soil. You can't be. You can't just claim it then, man. You can't just claim if you ain't from here. You can come visit. You can take some souvenirs home with you and stuff after you come visit. Which is what Drake does, though. You know what I'm saying? I always find that shit weird, though. That's what I said. When you go visit somewhere, yeah, what you got to?
Shout out to Jerome D. Thank you for the $10. Honestly, if we stay stuck in the past and keep begging for reparations, we never going to do for self mindset. Plus, it's too late. It's too hard to allocate funds to the right beneficiaries. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not stuck in the past. It happened. It happened. That's like if you loan somebody $200 2 months ago. You're like, hey, you know what? I loaned you that $200. Like, you stuck in the past. You ain't gonna never figure out how to make no money if you keep worrying about your $200. It's mine. I want it every motherfucking dime. It's mine. I don't care if it was 2,000 years ago. If it's mine, I want it. That's how it's supposed to go. Just because it happened, that don't mean it don't have to happen. Shout out to Revenge, Toronto, the home of pop music. They got I guess, whatever.
Toronto, the home of pop music.
Did you call him a white boy with your reverse racism? That's
Who's
not
him?
a white man.
We never mentioned race in any of this conversation.
I'm not gonna
like,
do
why
that.
y'all
That
be
is not a
doing that
white man.
for?
What is going on?
Why y'all be doing that for, B? We never mentioned race in any of this shit, B. I hate when y'all do that shit right there.
Yeah. Shout out to Jerome D. How can you trace ancestry and how can you allocate the right people? Handle your business and figure it out. That's your job to figure it out. But how could you sleep at night knowing you did this to people? How could this country be not? It should always be in unrest until that right is wrong. So it should always be in unrest. How could you do somebody wrong and be like, well, you know what? I don't know how to make it right, so I'm going to live my life like nothing happened. That's not cool. Can't convince me you're a right person. You got to make all your wrongs right. Again, this is No Sinners Live to Lunch Hour. We finna get up out this thing. Much love to all y'all. We back here Wednesday at noon. My man. See y'all soon.
Yo, let's go download that Miko.
Oh yeah, MIQUO. Miko.
Yeah,
just go type that in on Apple. The latest project. Fire.
MIQUO. Eastside Screw Up.
Fire.
Fire. Super fire.
We on.